Section 3 of Modern Russian Poetry, an Anthology, selected and translated by Babette Deutsch and Avram Yarmolinsky. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Kevin Davidson. Fyodor Tyuchev, 1803 to 1873. Tyutchev was rediscovered by the moderns and hailed as the great forerunner. They found in his mentality and sensibility, as well as in his technique, elements foreign to classic normalcy and akin to their own anguished metaphysics and aesthetics. The 200 short lyrics, which are all the original poetry he has left us, exhibit the organic coherence and ordered beauty which belong to fine lyric art. The originality of his poems consists in that both man's routine passions and nature's passionless routine are sensed in ultimate cosmic terms. Tyutchev's career could not be inferred from his poetry. This was the byproduct of a long and largely conventional life. He was a sedate bureaucrat in the diplomatic service, a position which kept him in München, the German Athens, during his best years. He proved the happiness of his marriage to a Bavarian aristocrat by marrying again shortly after her death. When he was on the shady side of 50, his career was seriously injured by a liaison with his daughter's teacher. During the last 20 years of his life he acted as censor, a position for which his political views eminently fitted him. He believed in autocracy, and he prophesied that Orthodox Russia, at the head of the United Slavs, would be the sacred ark riding the waves of the Western revolutionary deluge. Twilight. Soft the dove-hued shadows mingle, color fades, sound droops to sleep. Life and motion melt to darkness, swaying murmurs far and deep. But the night moth's languid flitting stirs the air invisibly. Oh, the hour of wordless longing, I in all, and all in me. Twilight, tranquil, brooding twilight, course through me, serene and smooth. Quiet, languid, fragrant twilight, flood all depths, all sorrows soothe. Every sense in dark and cooling self-forgetfulness immerse. Grant that I may taste extinction in the dreaming universe. As Ocean's Stream. As ocean's stream girdles the ball of earth, from circling seas of dream man's life emerges, and as night moves in silence up the firth, the secret tide around our mainland surges. The voice of urgent waters softly sounds, the magic skiff uplifts white wings of wonder. The tide swells swiftly, and the white sail rounds where the blind waves in shoreless darkness thunder. And the wide heavens, starred and luminous, out of the deep in mystery aspire. The strange abyss is burning under us, and we sail onward, and our wake is fire. Silentium. Be silent, hidden, and conceal whate'er your dream, whate'er you feel. Oh, let your visions rise and die within your heart's unfathomed sky, like stars that take night's darkened route. Admire and scan them, and be mute. The heart was born dumb. Who can sense its tremors recondite and tense, and who can hear its silent cry? A thought, when spoken, is a lie. Uncovered springs men will pollute, drink hidden waters, and be mute. Your art shall inner living be, the world within your fantasy. A kingdom is that waits its Saul, the outer din shall still its call. Day's glare its secret suns confute. Oh, quaff its singing, and be mute. Autumn Evening. The light of autumn evenings seems a screen, some mystery with tender glamour muffling. The trees in motley, cloaked baked in eerie sheen, the scarlet leaves that languid airs are ruffling. The still and misty azure, vaguely far Above the earth that waits her orphaned sorrow, And bitter winds in gusty vagrance are Forerunners of a bleak, storm-driven morrow. The woods are waning, withered is the sun, Earth shows the smile of fading, meekly tender As the high shyness of a suffering one In noble reticence of sad surrender. July 14, at night. Not yet cooled, the windless night Of July shone strangely still. Earth lay dim, and fitful light In the skyey, storm-filled height Trembled over field and hill. So might lidded eyes unclose, And between vast lashes burn Glances flaming and morose Over earth's remote repose, Mute as lightning, swift and stern. O thou, my wizard soul! O thou, my wizard soul! O heart, that whelming agony immerses The threshold of two universes, In cleaving these, tears thee apart. And so two alien worlds are thine, Thy day of morbid passionate living, Thy sleep, vague revelations giving Of spirits secret and divine. Then let the tortured bosom beat With fatal passion and vagary. The soul is fain, even as Mary, To cling forever to Christ's feet. Nikolai Nerasov, 1821 to 1877. Nerasov's literary career began with a series of prose potboilers, written while he was starving in St. Petersburg. He had come to this city as a boy of 17 in 1838 to follow the military profession. Against the will of his father, a brute of an Oberau, the young man preferred the university to the army, and was forthwith thrown on his own resources. A penniless hack, he became before long a popular poet, and the thriving publisher of two of the greatest radical monthlies in Russia. As a child he had heard the bitter songs of the Volga barge towers. In the capital he had lived with filth and famine. He introduced these elements into his work. Yet, though he suffered with the people in his poems, he enjoyed his prosperity, in spite of ethical scruples. His work is marked with a strong social and civic preoccupation. He declared that his interest interfered with his poetry. As a matter of fact, his muse of vengeance and wrath was an uncertain creature. He threw untransmuted into his poetry the raw stuff of satire and feuilleton, of parody and pamphlet. At his best he could move the reader with his stinging pity and his passionate self-scorn. He is perhaps chiefly remembered by his epic, Who Lives Happily in Russia?, which holds in its vast frame the very essence of the misery and the thwarted vigor of the Russian peasant. The capitals are rocked with thunder. The capitals are rocked with thunder of orators in wordy feuds, but in the depths of Russia yonder an age-old awful silence broods. Only the wind in wayside willows coming and going does not cease, and cornstalks touch in curving billows the earth that cherishes and pillows through endless fields of changeless peace. My poems, witnesses of unavailing. My poems, witnesses of unavailing tears for the sad earth shed, born in the moment when the soul is failing and by the storm winds bred. Against men's hearts you beat with wistful wailing, like waves on cliffs as dead. The Salt Song, from Who Can Live Happily in Russia? God's will be done. No food he'll try, the youngest son, look, he will die. A crust I got, another bit, he touched it not, put salt on it. Of salt no shred, no pinch I see, take flour instead, God whispered me. 2 bites, or 1, his mouth he pouts, the little son, more salt, he shouts. The bit appears again all floured, and wet with tears it was devoured. The mother said she'd saved her dear, salt was the bread. how salt the tear. End of section 3. Recording by Kevin Davidson. www.blogordie.com